Hi, I'm Christine McKay with Northridge Publishing, and I'm so excited because Jen Gallacher stopped by to talk a little bit about the latest issue of Scrapbook Trends Magazine.
Well, I'm super excited because it's our April issue, and it snowed today, and I'm so ready for spring.
I know, I am too. We were talking about that if I see one more snowflake, I'm going to go nuts.
I'm so over snow.
I know, I'm
this
over
year.
it. And that's what I love about this issue is because it gives me light at the end of the tunnel with all the bright colors.
It's just full of fun spring things. In fact, in this particular issue, we have things like Easter, we have journaling, we have friendship, and then we have our typical articles.
You know, one thing that I love so much about Scrapbook Trends Magazine is how well-rounded it is.
It is.
Not only just in the topics, for instance, the ones that you mentioned, you know, the Easter and friendship, but also it just has a wide variety of inspiration.
It does.
Because I think that a lot of scrapbookers, they really come at it at a different angle, don't you?
I agree.
I think some are paper crafters and looking for that creative outlet.
What can I do new that layout or card has done?
Absolutely. I think some people are more into the journaling.
Right.
Which I think we have some of the best journaling tips
We do.
ever.
We do.
It seems like almost every issue, there's some kind of prompt or tip or...
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Even if you have like an Easter, I think within Easter, there are ideas for new ways you can approach that particular thing.
Absolutely. And then, of course, great photos.
Yes.
So
always.
I think that there really is, no matter what your approach is to your scrapbooking, there's something.
Something for everyone. I agree.
Okay, so I'm so excited for you to show off
I love
these
bringing
two
these.
layouts because I'll have to tell you that this first layout is probably one of the most unique ones that I've seen.
Isn't this beautiful? Now, I love that this particular time we picked a shaped layout for our cover. And this is done by Amy Parker. And I love, first of all, I thought this was a die cut paper. I thought she had just put things on. She created her own die cut paper. This is pattern paper. And then she's punched out little pinking scissors with pinking punch around the shape.
Oh my gosh, I
Isn't that
love
beautiful?
that. Okay, this seriously is so beautiful. There's so much going on and so many amazing techniques.
One thing too that I like, it's actually a smaller format. It's not a 12 by 12, it's more like an 8 by 8. So if you're submitting things and want to get picked for the cover, we're always looking for different and unique approaches to put on our cover. So that's just a little hint.
The different shape is automatically,
Yes.
Is it kind of like that crumpling your paper in the raffle box?
Yes,
It's just like a different shape or
something
feel.
you
Okay,
might get
Jen
picked
just
up.
gave you a golden tip.
There you go. Some other things I love about this layout is I love like around her photo, she has like a stamp cut around it. Beautifully done. Beautiful vintage vibe on this. Colors are vintage, the measuring tape pattern paper.
You know, when I say this has a vintage look, I don't just mean kind of the hip, trendy, we're bringing vintage back.
Right.
But this genuinely looks like something that came from that era.
It does.
It's
She
beautiful.
just did a beautiful job on this particular layout. So this was, no wonder it was picked for the cover.
Gorgeous. Okay, so let's talk about this next one that you brought.
So this is our award-winning layout, and this is done by Kathy LaFoley, and you can see it's actually a very clean, straightforward design, and we just love clean looking designs, but we also love kind of an eclectic look as well.
Like I said, it's well-rounded for
Something
any
for
interest that
everyone.
you have.
Right.
Because, you know, I look at this and I tell you why it catches my eye. I mean, I think that this is so clean and classic and beautiful. And it's something I always strive to do. Yet inevitably, whenever I'm done with my page, I can't help
stop.
it. I get my ink pad out and I distress all the edges. And every time I say I'm not going to do that, and I do.
Well,
And
that's your style.
It's my style.
Yeah.
But I look at this and I'm like, it's so clean and it's so pretty. And
It
you
is
don't
pretty.
need to distress everything.
No, you don't.
I keep telling myself
having
that.
the magazine, you can choose. You can say, oh, this time I want to try some distressing. Well,
Yeah.
I liked this clean design. I want to do something more clean and quick. So I love that she did things like she used adhesive foam squares on the bottom of her journaling to give it a little more shadow and depth. So little
Love it.
details like that. Putting the title in 2 different colors, beautifully done. Just little details. No wonder it was picked for award.
It's just the right amount.
I agree.
Jen, thank you so much for inspiring us with these great
for having
layouts.
me.
And, you know, for more, not only tips and tricks, but just inspiration in general in all the different areas that we talked about, whether it's, you know, journaling, paper crafting, you know, photos. There really is something for everybody. And you can check out the latest April issue at your local craft retail store. Or, as I always say, better yet, go to northridgepublishing.com and get your very own subscription today.